When the Olight Arkfeld first came out, it was a smashing success because it's the first flat design pocket flashlight that we've ever produced. And what's really cool about it is not only does it have 1,000 lumens, which is no joke for a compact pocket flashlight, but also with just a flip of a switch, you can go to a green laser. It also has our magnetic charging, and it just is an awesome everyday carry light. And I think we can all agree that a flat design is much more comfortable to carry in your pocket than a typical round flashlight. So this has absolutely been a hit for us, but we decided that we wanted to make some improvements. We heard your recommendations, and also we were long overdue for producing a UV flashlight. So we actually just released the Arkfeld UV, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. I'm going to talk about the differences between the UV and the standard Arkfeld and how you guys can get the best deal possible during our March product event, which is happening right now. Now let's start with the similarities between the two. The Arkfeld and the Arkfeld UV are virtually the same size. So if you actually look at the length and the width of these lights, it's exactly the same. The main difference between the two is the actual back of the light. So on the standard Arkfeld, you can see here that the back of the light has actually been enlarged. That way we could put our magnetic charging disc there on the back. What we did with the Arkfeld UV is we actually slimmed it way down. So it's going to be way more slim in your pocket from the front to back, but also we were still able to do our magnetic charging on the back. So there's no sacrifice on function, but the back of the light, when it's hanging out of your pocket, is going to be much more slim and a much better carrying experience. And on top of that, one of the biggest differences between the two is the fact that the Arkfeld UV finally has a true deep carry pocket clip. So that way, when you have this in your pocket, it's actually going to be fully concealed. One of the small complaints that we heard from the Arkfeld is that it's not deep carry, so you actually have a large portion of the flashlight hanging out of your pocket when it's clipped to your pocket. And then also with this larger base, it's harder to grab other things out of your pocket, and it just is a lot more flashlight that's kind of just sitting there at the top of your pocket. So this is a much more enjoyable experience to get other things out of your pocket, and then also again have it be actually fully concealed with that slimmer base. Now, even though the flashlights are the same size, with the Arkfeld UV being even slimmer, we managed to not only have this be a 1,000 lumen flashlight just like the regular Arkfeld, but we managed to also get in a UV light. What's really cool about that is typically you would think we'd have to make the flashlight larger to be able to have that UV light instead of the laser. If you look at the front of these two lights, the UV portion actually takes up a lot more space than a small little dot there for the laser. But we managed to actually be able to get the light and the UV side by side in the exact same size as the standard Arkfeld with the light and the laser. That's really cool. I figured it would be much bigger, but it's actually not at all. Now, obviously, since the Arkfeld UV has UV instead of the laser, there's no way I can really compare the two because it's completely different things. But I will give you the specs on the UV as well. So it's actually a 580 milliwatt, and it has a 365 nanometer wavelength. So it's perfectly capable of checking pet stains and things like that. If you're like myself, I have a cat and a dog, so it's always good to go around the carpet, look at the couch with the UV to make sure there aren't any stains that I wasn't able to catch with my own eye. Also, it's a great way to charge up the lume on a watch. I'm a big watch guy, and it's really great to be able to charge that up perfectly with a UV light. It's like a turbocharger for watch lume. Also, it's a great way to check for counterfeit bills, things like that. So there's all kinds of different uses for a UV light. I would highly suggest taking one of these on a trip if you're staying in a hotel, maybe using a public bathroom. It might not be the nicest thing to look at in the world, but you at least know when things are sanitary or not, so it's a great idea to take these on trips as well. The UV light is extremely practical to have on your light, but also, of course, I want to have a real regular flashlight as well because I use a flashlight every single night on a daily basis. So because of that, I want to have the flashlight and the UV, and the Arkfeld UV has both. The next major improvement and a small complaint I had about the original Arkfeld is the original Arkfeld is just super slick. There's no knurling on this. There's no milling on the body itself. So because of that, it is more slick than the Baton series flashlights or any of the other small flashlights that we offer. So we went ahead and put all of these ridges on both sides of the Arkfeld UV to give you a much better grip, whether you're wearing gloves, your hands are wet, anything like that. You're simply just going to have a much better grip on this Arkfeld UV. Another huge advantage for a flashlight that you're going to be carrying and using on a daily basis. So just as a quick recap, the Arkfeld UV and the Arkfeld both have 1000 lumens. The regular Arkfeld does have that green laser, and the Arkfeld UV of course has the UV light instead. The Arkfeld UV does have these ridges on the side, so you're getting a much better grip. It does have a smaller base, so it's going to be more comfortable to carry. And then of course, with that deep carry dual direction pocket clip, you can use it hands-free on a hat. You can also have it be fully concealed in your pocket, so you don't have a bunch of flashlight hanging out of your pocket, which again is a much better experience for carrying these on a regular basis. It also still has the battery level indicators underneath the switch, so you're still able to see whether your battery is at 25, 50, 75, or 100%. And also it does have the red indicator when you lock out the flashlight, because you can still lock out the Arkfeld UV just like the regular Arkfeld. So it has plenty of improvements. The only thing that you need to ask yourself is, do you need the UV light versus the green laser? Personally, I find a lot more uses for the UV light when I'm out and about compared to the laser right here. Of course, it's fun to use the laser to play around with my cat, but in terms of everyday usage, it makes a lot more sense to be able to charge up the lume on my watch, to be able to check and see if things are sanitary, to be able to make sure that there aren't any stains anywhere from my pets. All of these sorts of things make this UV a lot more useful to me than just the green laser to play games with my cat. Now, just a heads up, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we are in the middle of our March product event where you're able to get the best deal possible on the new Arkfeld UV. Luckily, even though it is a brand new product, we still released it in 3 different colors, in this beautiful OD green, the orange color, and then also the black that I've been holding during this video. Another cool thing is that we have not only the cool white emitter, but we have the neutral white emitter in all 3 colors. So that means there's 6 different versions of this light to choose from for the initial release, which is just wild to me. We have 6 versions of a light right when it comes out. Again, guys, you can get the best deal possible right now. Our March product event ends on Thursday night, so tomorrow night at midnight Eastern time, so take advantage of it while you can. I hope you guys are enjoying the improvements of this Arkfeld just like I am. Good luck to you guys during the sale. Click the link in the description of this video to check it all out, and we'll see you in the next video.